Hello, everyone. I'm truly excited. I've got a very inspiring person with me. She's made the whole nation proud. She's the one and only, the new Femina Miss India World 2026, Miss Sadhvi Sale. She's the first woman to make Goa proud. In fact, it's been in history that she's the first pageant winner from Goa. So it's truly an honor and privilege to have her on this new episode. Welcome, Sadhvi. It's truly an honor. And again, congratulations on the win. And to begin with, I'm going to start with my first question is, before the crown found you, who are you becoming?
I think before the crown, I had a completely different vision of where I was going. So initially, I thought that I would enter diplomacy because I double majored in economics and international relations. But I did so in Canada. And then here to get into, roles of diplomacy, you need to write the um, like certain exams for UPSC exams, for instance. So I just knew that I don't have enough time to, take that up and do it religiously. And then I just wanted to do justice to whatever I've studied and do some kind of a representation in that sense. So then I tried also working for the Boston Consulting Group, and then I started my own business. So mostly I was focused on my business and a modeling career that I was juggling. But then I realized that there's one space that can encourage both beauty and brain, and that is pageantry world. So that's how I thought of entering this world.
Okay. And what part of Sadhvi, stayed untouched even after the spotlight arrived?
I think my humility, my warmth,
Okay.
no matter, I mean, now that so much has changed, everybody around me, makes that effort to talk to me, but I've never ever taken that for granted. And I treat them as my people.
Okay.
So I think that's something that's untouched. And yeah, I don't think like even now when I say it's not synced in, it means that I haven't fundamentally changed as a person. It's just that now I am just, I'm given more responsibility, but I'm still the same person.
Okay. And do you think, identity is something we protect or something we constantly evolve?
I think it's, at least for me, something that constantly keeps evolving. I think once you make up your mind and put yourself in certain boxes, it's game over. Because then you're not open to new opinions, you're not open to learning, you're not open to new avenues in life. And that's
Yeah.
very boring, you
Yeah.
know. I would say that it is important to constantly evolve, if not change.
Okay.
And accepting that takes a while for some people, but I think it's only inevitable. Like everybody has to do it. Nobody can hold on to one single thread of their identity and define their whole life based on it.
Okay. And what do you think, the crown actually demands from you, which people don't see?
I think the crown demands a lot of self reliance
Right.
in the sense that I don't know if a lot of people know, but when I'll be going for my Miss World journey,
Right.
I'll be the only person who does my hair, makeup,
Okay.
and wardrobe and everything. And I think we'll be carrying around 60 outfits to Tanzania for me. And I think we assume that beauty is like only glamour, but a lot
Right.
of hard work, a lot of patience and learning goes into it.
Right.
And I think that's something that I want to put forward.
Right. Yeah. I also want to know, how do you carry grace, when people actually expect perfection?
I think I don't take any shame in terms of being imperfect. I think I would rather be someone who is living in the moment and being honest and speaks with conviction than someone who has an answer that just sounds near perfect. I think we need to be, more opinionated. I think we need to be more us, especially in today's day and age when everybody wants to. I mean, they speak the same things. Everybody
Yeah.
has the same opinion because of Chat GPT and whatnot. I think we're losing that individualistic touch,
Right.
but I think that's something that we need to revisit.
Right. And if your voice could change, the mindset of society, what would it be?
I think. Personally, for me, I've seen that in a lot of movies. I'm a movie buff.
Okay.
So, in a lot of movies, Hollywood movies especially, Indian people are defined in a certain way, a certain skin color, a certain accent,
Right.
stereotype to only certain types of foods. And although we've, time and again, we Indians have shown who we are, and, we've always, uh, you know, uh, taken up so many things, and even the people who live abroad who are Indian origin have conquered so much.
Right.
But still, that stereotype does not seem to let it go. So I think that's something that I want to bring across. I want to show people that we are Indians, and yes, it is a part of who we are, but we are rooted in our traditions, but we are also so open-minded and open to change, and that's our USP, that's our superpower.
Right. And you think, is influence today more about visibility or authenticity?
I think it has become more about visibility.
Okay.
But I think lasting influence, that depends mostly on authenticity.
Okay.
Because you see that people who've sustained in these industries are the ones who genuinely share a piece of themselves, you know. And that authenticity you can't steal, you can't copy paste.
Right.
Whereas that instant fame that you get, which is very short-lived, that is mostly, the other one. So,
Right.
yeah.
I'm sure, in your entire journey, there must have been a lot of hustle. It's not a cakewalk, when you reach where you've reached, But what is the kind of misconceptions you think people have about beauty queens?
I think that we can't be both beautiful and intelligent.
Okay.
Another one is that we don't take things in the sport of it, that we'll always be, jealous of somebody or like pray for somebody's downfall. At least that's not been my experience. And that we don't enjoy or indulge in good food, and that we are supposed to be like, this perfect doll-like image. If anything, like, I think that definition is changing over time, especially in the pageant industry. And we see it. If you look at all the 30 participants from my edition, you'll realize that we all come in different shapes, sizes, color, everything. And that's what defines beauty.
Right. The little that I've spoken to you, I found you really grounded, but I want to know, what keeps you grounded, in a world which is so elevated.
I think knowing that this victory or this feat of mine is just not mine, in the sense that even in a short span of that preparation time during the journey, I've known at least like 30 to 20 people who've helped me through and through.
Right.
And what I've realized is I'm not just carrying my dream forward, it's their dedication. So I don't take any kind of credit that, like, oh, I did this. I think that it's all a collective effort. Like, all of the ways that people taught me, my teachers, my friends, my family, all these people have shaped the way that I see the world today. And I personally believe that I look at it in the most beautiful way, and I present it in a certain way, and that's what got me here. So staying humble really is, yeah, something that I've always taken pride in.
Right. You recently also met Konkana. She's a close friend and she's also an etiquette
Yeah.
consultant. So I want to know, what did she tell you, before your journey?
First of all, let me tell you, she's such a remarkable woman and a true woman of taste.
Right.
So we were learning a lot from her, especially like she was talking to us about dining etiquettes, or how to behave at a cocktail, how to behave, what are the different types of teas and the different types of ways you can conduct yourself. And she's someone who's completely knowledgeable, and she has a fun way of putting across all of the content. It didn't feel like, a lecture, one way lecture. She's
Right.
someone who collaborates, and the best part is in her school, we savoir-faire, we not just learned things, we executed it practically. So we had quite a lot of food that day
Okay.
while we were learning these dining etiquettes, and it was truly fun.
Okay. When the cameras are switched off, what is the real version of you which shows up?
I think someone who is just by herself, maybe the makeup's off,
Yeah.
and I tie my hair in a bun,
Okay.
and you'll see me in the most gone outfit, shorts and a tank top, and I'm just like, watching something,
Okay.
probably a movie, and or just hosting some of my family or friends.
Okay. And if I see Sadhvi probably 5 years down the road, I'm sure you've set certain targets for yourself. Where do I see you?
I see myself becoming a brand.
Okay.
Now, how that happens, I leave that up to the universe.
Okay.
But I see myself becoming a household name
Okay.
that everybody, like how we know about Aishwarya ma'am, Priyanka ma'am, I
Mhm.
see that happening for me. At least that's my goal.
Okay. What kind of young girl do you hope sees you and feels she's seen herself?
I think someone who is a little scared of what's out there, but at the same time who knows that she's gonna achieve something in life.
Right.
I think that was how my beginning was, and I just want people who don't take enough chances to see my life and realize that it's all based on chance. It's like a gamble that I took when I
Right.
entered because I'm 24, turning 25 this year. I'm from Goa. I have visible tattoos. So I thought that, I would never make it if there is a given prototype of who they want and
Right.
who they would love to represent our country. But then here we are against all odds, and I just want to know that I just want that girl who thinks that she's limiting herself to know that she doesn't have to, and she just has to take that chance.
Right. And today, if you're sitting across your younger version, what would you whisper to your ear?
That it all works out. So don't be too hung up on the outcome, but instead, uh, just take each day as it comes and enjoy it because those are the memories that you'll always look back to.
Right. And also, I want to know, today, if you were given a superpower for an entire day, how would you use it?
I think I would travel all of the countries and experience their cultures
Okay.
if I had that superpower.
Okay. Which you're going to do, I'm sure, very soon.
Yeah, starting with Tanzania.
So, yeah. Also, I want to know, today, if you're leaving a legacy behind, what is that legacy you want to leave behind which people remember you by?
Someone who was deeply grounded and achieved what they wanted and never had a regret in their lives.
Um, Also, now it comes to a fun segment. This is the rapid fire round. I'm going to ask you quick
Oh,
questions
I
just
love this one.
just to know you a little more personally. So,
Yeah,
heels or sneakers?
heels.
Morning person or night person?
Right.
Okay. You're more into EDM or house music?
House.
Okay. One favorite book you've currently read, which you've really enjoyed a lot.
I reread a book, which is Eat, Pray, Love.
Okay. One dish you think you cook really well.
Mm, Maggie.
Okay.
I'm not the best in the kitchen, trust me.
Okay. One song you love to go to, when you're having a stressful day.
It's called Ring My Bell. I've heard that it's great for manifestation, and that's something that I heard throughout my, all of my segments and all of my auditions as well.
Okay. Someone who you look up to.
Dr. Geeta Gopinath and
Okay.
my grandmother.
Okay. One motto you stand by.
Everything in time.
Okay. Um, what
I
is
have that
according,
tattoo actually.
okay. According to you, what is that one big difference between the millennials and the Gen Zs of today?
I think the Gen Zs are more, they believe in challenging all the existing, structures of our society.
Right.
Whereas millennials had a little bit of an ease in that sense. But I think millennials are better at managing their day and also their screen time.
Okay. And if there was a biopic made on you, who do you think would play the best character? Whether it could be a Hollywood or a Bollywood movie, based on your personality.
Hmm. Personality. Wow, I think maybe Lara Tata.
Okay. Uh, what is that one thing you've always wanted to do, but you were not bold enough to do it?
I think skydiving.
Okay. That's
I
something
am
even
scared of
that's
heights.
something even I've never done, which I've always wanted to.
I've
Yeah.
done the indoor skydiving version, and that was terrifying enough.
Okay. Okay. What is that now? That ends the rapid fire round. I want to know, like today, all the viewers watching us today, and there are a lot of young girls who want to be in your shoes, who are talented. They don't get, an opportunity because there's no dearth of talent in our country, you know that. So, what is
Yeah.
that kind of message you'd like to give, who wants to be in your place and probably wants to conquer the world the way you are? So, what is that one message from you coming to them would you like to say?
Don't wait for the perfect moment. That only leads to more procrastination. Have some level of self-belief, even if you're doubting yourself, or at least surround yourself with people who believe in you even when you don't.
Right,
And make sure that you put in effort in terms of honing your communication skills, in
right,
terms of identifying your storyline, what makes you you.
right.
And also like learn how to walk, build a good camera presence. And yeah, the most important one is to really be someone who's well read enough to have their own opinions,
Okay.
and their own perspective and take on life.
Right,
Because everybody hears the, usual answers, but what makes you stand out is what's important
right,
in pageantry, at least.
right,
And wear a good smile on your face.
right. Yeah, I think that's the best accessory, Smile, nothing
Yeah,
beats that.
absolutely. I agree with you. And you have a good smile as well.
Thank you. Also, I want to know, like today when you were on the stage, before your name was being called out, what was those kind of emotions, which you experienced, and you finally thought that, yeah, okay, fine, this is it, and it's my time now.
I think after reaching top eight and finishing up my answer, I sort of had an idea that at least I'll be placed in top three. Then second runner-up was announced. First runner-up was announced. I was getting a little more confident, but
Right,
then there was also this like surge of self-doubt that I was like, okay, what if, it's not me at all? Um, and I remember like I was like, okay, if I make it, then I want that picture perfect moment. Like, should I try to create it for myself? And then I
right,
was thinking maybe I'll look up and then have that dramatic moment. But
right,
then I was like, oh, what if I fall flat on my face? So then I was just looking down and praying and hoping that it works out. And post that, trust me, I don't remember anything because my brain was bombarded with so many emotions
yeah,
that I'm still not able to retain or even realize what I did on stage there. It was just completely my muscle memory doing everything.
okay,
Like walking up to the stage, like wearing the crown sash.
okay.
Like it was just muscle memory, trust me.
Okay. And what is you think, normally real life experiences teaches you a lot. What is that one real life experience which you learned which no book could teach you?
Hmm. I think what I learned most is like I used to read a lot of self-help books, but then one thing I've never realized is never figured out is how to not procrastinate.
Right,
And I think this journey, like through and through, it's pushed me to not be that person anymore.
right,
Like the version of me that existed, say, 3, 4 months ago, was someone who kept making excuses for myself and telling myself that, oh, when I'll get better, I'll do it. But then I think being in this pageantry space, you have to answer a lot of questions, give a lot of
right.
interviews, do podcasts.
Yeah,
So you don't really have time to procrastinate, and it
right,
pushes you to push your own boundaries. So I think it's all in all, like the boot camp was such a beautiful experience for all of us.
right. Great. That comes to the end of the episode. I'm truly excited. Wishing you all the very best, Sadhvi. And you can't believe, I think the entire India is watching you today and they're so proud of you. And we only want you
Thank
to
you.
reach higher and higher limits, and make the nation proud every time. So thank you again for doing this with me and wishing you all the very best for all your future endeavors.
Thank you so much, Siddhant. I hope you the best as well. I hope you get to meet more individuals from different parts of our countries who've taken this step and, excelled in their own profession and platform. And I hope to hear about them and their life
Right.
through you and your podcast. You're doing a great job. Thank you.
Thank you, and I hope to see you really soon and meet you in person as well.
Absolutely, we need to. Hopefully with Konkana.
Yeah, sure, 100%. All right. Take care. Bye bye.
See
Have
you.
a
Bye
safe
bye.
flight. Bye.
Thank you.